D3 Hoops top 25 in terms of receiving votes. It's another one of those. This Redlands team is 3-1 overall this season, and a lengthy road trip in Northwest Conference territory, having taken on Linfield, George Fox, and Pacific as 3 of their first 4 games this year. So excited to see what happens in this one today. You also have some teams that are doing some pretty impressive stuff in terms of the way that they have started in the national rankings. Lewis and Clark coming in just 8 turnovers per game with a 3-2 overall record. At 8 turnovers per game, fourth best in the country. Taking care of the basketball, which is awesome to see. Lewis and Clark has been doing just that to make sure that they have the best chance to get these victories that they're seeking in the 2024-25 schedule. But not only that, best turnover margin in the conference right now, and sitting at 5th in the country in that stat. And Lewis and Clark is also 9th in the country in assist to turnover ratio. So again, by and large, Lewis and Clark doing some big things this year so far in the national rankings. Meanwhile, on the Redlands side, this team scores 98.5 points per game. They're scoring a bunch. That's 5th in the nation in scoring offense. They're also 4th in turnovers forced. They make opponents give the ball away about 26 times per game, and that leads to a lot of points off turnovers, as you can imagine. They had 30 of those in their 90-73 win over Linfield in this 4-game Northwest Conference road trip through the Pacific Northwest. And then you add in 3rd in offensive rebounds per game. That's 20.5 that they're pulling down offensively. That leads to a lot of second chance points, so maybe not surprising to see them put up nearly 100 per game. It's the 5th year under former Whitman head coach Eric Bridgeland as the lead man for Redlands. Lewis and Clark comes in with the 7th year as Tim McCrory is head coach. So, of course, those two cross paths in their past moments with Whitman and Lewis and Clark. It was also cool to see Corey Coombe, who's here as well, who is a former Pioneers Hooper senior year back in 2016-17, was on Eric's bench as an assistant with Whitman, now the lead assistant at Redlands. So it was pretty cool to see him. He says they've been in the Pacific Northwest now for about 8 days. The opportunity to play these games against Pacific, George Fox, and Linfield, having beaten everybody but Pacific, as Eric Bridgeland lost to his former assistants team at Pacific 89-83 for their first and now only loss of the season so far. That was at the Ken Schumann Classic in Forest Grove. Lewis and Clark will start conference play coming up in a week. On Friday, we'll have Lewis and Clark audio as we bring you coverage from Willamette. Lewis and Clark taking on the Bearcats. That game happening coming up on Friday, and Lewis and Clark's men's team will play at 6. Women's team follows at 8 o'clock. So it should be a lot of fun. We appreciate you being with us for this one. Redlands and Lewis and Clark, 3-1 versus 3-2, and it comes your way next on Pio Stream.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them, with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
National anthem played at Pamplin Sports Center. Now let's get the starters to public address announcer Ryan Buchanan.
And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Bulldogs. From Dallas, Texas, a 6'2" senior guard, number 1, Chosen Amadi. From Chicago, Illinois, a 6'3" junior guard, number 11, Amari Ferguson. From Bakersfield, California, 6'5" sophomore guard, number 12, Jace Boston. From Carson, California, a 6'3" first-year guard, number 13, Davon Gates. And from Valencia, California, 6'4" junior guard, number 22, Jake Hiliviak. The Bulldogs are coached by Eric Grigsland in his 5th year. He's assisted by Corey Coombe. And now let's meet the starters for your Lewis and Clark Pioneers. From Seattle, Washington, a 6'2" junior guard, number 2, Tyan Jackson. From Albuquerque, New Mexico, a 6'7" senior forward, number 3, Sam Henderson. From Spring, Texas, a 6'6" senior forward, number 8, Griffin Dacher IV. From San Francisco, California, a 6' first-year guard, number 15, Jake Rodriguez. And from Sandy, Utah, a 6'7" senior forward, number 21, Nate Berg. And leading your Pioneers, head coach Tim McCrory, now in his 7th season, with assistant coaches Pamela Rush, Sean Carson, Christian O'Dowd, Jonathan Canoan, Nico Echalis, Trace Roberts, and Eliel Martinez. Today's officials are Chuck Frayne, Travis Bain, and Larry Linebaugh.
So there you go, the starters for today's game, Lewis and Clark and Redlands. Redlands wearing gray uniforms for this matchup with somewhat lighter gray numbers outlined in white. Bulldogs out of the SCIAC picked 4th in that Southern California Division III conference. Lewis and Clark picked 9th in the Northwest Conference preseason poll. Both teams in with a winning record. Pios in white with orange numbers, black lettering and trim. And Redlands wins the opening tip. Give you an audio-style broadcast in case you can only listen with us this afternoon. Happy Friday. Post-Thanksgiving as a quick drive and a left-handed layup off the mark by Ferguson, the team's leading scorer for Redlands. An intense 2-2-1 pressure started by the Redlands defense. Pass up to Henderson on the near sideline, tried to throw it in the middle to Berg. Stolen away by Ferguson. Far side pass on the bounce, tipped away by Lewis and Clark. Underneath inbound for Redlands. On the road so far this season, a 1-1 mark, and they played that neutral site game, beat George Fox at Pacific. Inbound to the far corner, shake, Ferguson underneath, throws it out to the top, open look 3, Amadi put it through. First lead for Redlands, 3-0, 19:17 to play. Rodriguez, the first-year Pio, working the point guard, off to Dacher the 4th. Got it across half court, trapped by the sideline, got it loose to Jackson, bounce pass right, and Henderson on a 3-on-1, stripped going up. Knocked loose by Boston, stays with the Pios underneath. 1 minute expired, open 3-0 lead. Redlands on the Amadi 3. Henderson right side of the Pios basket underneath, inbounds to Berg. Lewis and Clark scoring 78.6 per game offensively. 7 to shoot, right side Rodriguez on the wing. Dribbles with the left hand, low to the ground. Free throw line, kick out left. Wing 3, too strong by Dacher the 4th. Weak side rebound pulled out by Ferguson and tipped away by Jackson. Might expect the Pios and Redlands to both use pretty frequent substitutions, try to keep this pace. Ferguson's out. And in for Redlands, Kendrick Curry, California senior. Lewis and Clark brings in Ryan Trunkett. First game for Ryan since the first couple games of the year. Pioneers got Trunkett out there, the senior from Los Angeles. Bounce pass left baseline, back to the basket. Curry sends it out. Back out on the perimeter, 10 to shoot for Redlands. Right side, Gates. First touch for Gates, I think, on an offensive trip. Back outside, throw it down low, looking for Boston. Try to hit it off the defender to go out of bounds, falling out. And Lewis and Clark able to get the stop. Trunkett recovered the basketball. Breaking full court pressure, still good time. Rodriguez gets in the front court. Pios looking for their first points. Rodriguez all the way to the rim. Stepped out of bounds, recovering after was knocked out by Boston approaching the hoop. Rodriguez probably could have let that go out of bounds, tried to keep it. Instead, Lewis and Clark gives it away. 3-0 lead, Bulldogs. Lewis and Clark Pioneers trailing Redlands by 3, 18 minutes to go in the first half. Lewis and Clark on the home floor this season. He's played a couple, but not a ton. Inside, Boston fires down low, tipped away, and last touched on the way out by Gates. And Redlands gives it right back. It's just that one game against Portland Bible in the home debut on November 21st. Out of the game, Gates replaced by Thomas Hastings out of Chandler, Arizona. Transfer from Scottsdale Community College. I was thinking Lewis and Clark had played a couple more home games, or at least one other home game. Not the case. 1 and 2 on the road so far. Pios have won their only neutral site game. Inbound stolen away. Nice take from Amadi. Bounce pass over to the far side by Hilliot. And Lewis and Clark trails 5-0. First points for Redlands for a while. 17:29 to play, and they had to do an administrative adjustment to the shot clock. The officials today asking for 28 on the shot clock. Pios again facing full court pressure. Hallmark of Coach Bridgeland's from his time at Whitman. Really helped the Blues into an outstanding national contender, winning 74% of his games, 245 wins to 87 losses. But still, 2 minutes plus between baskets for the Bulldogs, just a 5-0 lead so far. Keep an eye on Lewis and Clark turnovers, though. As I mentioned, Pios have been really good in that department so far, facing likely their toughest test of the game. They break the press. Datcher the fourth got loose underneath, goes up and is fouled. Left-hand side went underneath the basket. First foul of the game. That's charged to Hilliot. Hilliot gets the first foul charged to Redlands. And Datcher the fourth goes to the free throw line. Pios looking for their first points. First free throw, no good. Lucas Gordon comes in, the junior, tosses a towel to Boston as he exits the game. Lucas Gordon out of San Marcos, California. Second in the conference in rebounds per game so far out of the SCIAC at 9.0 per. Free throw by Datcher. The fourth is good. First points for the Pios at the 17-16 mark. Left to right in gray for Redlands. Pios defending the right side hoop. Kick out, far side three. Touch short, put up by Amadi. Lewis and Clark gets the rebound. Datcher the fourth trying to bring it into front court. Had the ball poked free. No foul called by the officials crossing half court. Donovan Ware now checks in. Ware replaces Hastings. No, comes in for Hilliak. Gordon stands 6'8" in the middle over by Henderson, wearing purple shoes this afternoon. Inbounded, Jackson gets knocked to the ground by Curry. That was a backcourt, tried to step through. Second team foul, and the first charged to Curry. 5-1 lead for Redlands. Combined shooting 2 of 5 combined. Lewis and Clark's only had 1 field goal attempt and has committed 2 turnovers. Datcher the fourth, looking for someone inbound, gets it to Jackson, works up. Hastings defending in backcourt, got help from Ware, bounce pass ahead, Datcher the fourth. Pios have numbers, to the rim, Griffin all the way. That was a strong move, gets a fist bump from the coaching staff on the Lewis and Clark side. Near sideline to our right, the direction to which Redlands goes, now with a 5-3 lead. Spinning shot, no good by Hastings in the paint. Rodriguez the rebound, Lewis and Clark. Throws it far side, Datcher the fourth into front court. Over to Henderson, leading scorer for the Pios. Goes for three and gets the lead for Lewis and Clark. First time Pios on a 6-0 mini run. Henderson averaging 15 per game this season and shooting nearly 60% from the floor. Big bucket for the Pios. Spinning in the paint. Amadi goes to the right side. Fade away. Kissed off the glass. And Redlands with a nice response. Under 16 to play in the opening half. Lewis and Clark right to left in white. Rodriguez transferred out of, or rather joins the Pios, not one of the transfers this year. Far side, and it stays with Lewis and Clark, knocked out of bounds. And we step aside. 16 minutes to play in the opening half. Lewis and Clark still has the basketball. Right now leading for a brief moment before falling behind 7-6. 7-6 to score with 15:43 to go in the first half. From Portland, chance to tell you about our Lewis and Clark Alumni Marketplace. Offers on products and services from the Lewis and Clark alumni base. That includes folks such as Energy Kayaking and Rafting, where you can rent kayaks, get canoes, paddle boards from their Flatwater Paddling Center below Willamette Falls, about 20 minutes from Lewis and Clark College. Experience a local adventure with your family or for your next company outing by visiting enrgkayaking.com. Rafting trips are fun, exciting, bonding, and therapeutic. And Energy Kayaking and Rafting will help customize an experience that will be enjoyable and easeful. Energy Kayaking and Rafting offers historical tours of Willamette Falls and Oregon City, plus operates kids camps and whitewater rafting trips on the Clackamas, North Santiam, Sandy, and Deschutes rivers. Book now at enrgkayaking.com or go to lcpioneers.com/marketplace to take advantage of all of these offers. Great opportunity for you, especially in front of the holiday season. 5 points from Amadi so far, leading the way for Redlands. Has hit both shots so far. Lewis and Clark getting 3 apiece from Henderson and Datcher the fourth. 2 turnovers each side so far for Lewis and Clark and Redlands. 7-6 lead for Redlands. Far side inbound Trunkett with Rodriguez, Henderson. First time Pios have Andre Treadwell in. Lewis and Clark, junior transfer from College of the Sequoias. Datcher the fourth stays out as well. So just one change for Lewis and Clark. Facing man-to-man half-court defense, 9 to shoot. Datcher the fourth goes right. Head fake, bounce pass over to Rodriguez, far corner. Drives baseline, pulls up as he steers himself to the right mid lane. Missed it off to the left, rebound pull down by Ware. Here comes Redlands, wearing gray, driving. Gates had it popped free, stolen ahead to Henderson for Lewis and Clark right to left. And the Pios get a transition bucket to regain the lead. 8-7, 15:09 to play, opening half. Treadwell picks up Hastings. Out on the perimeter, they have Ferguson back in. And on the far side down near the left block is Gordon. Ferguson took off from the right wing and traveled low to the basket, or low to the floor, beg your pardon, and committed the turnover, the third by Redlands. Hiliak is back in, replacing Hastings. Ferguson this year, 21 points against Linfield. Committed 8 turnovers in that game, though, 2. Had 11 against Pacific's. Been the leading scorer this year, right at 20 per game. Has aspirations to play professionally. Transfer out to LA Trade Technical College. Right side, Treadwell flying in from the right baseline, was blocked by Gordon despite good elevation. Gordon was ready for it. Pios stopped. Redlands down 1, driving to the right, and Ferguson bangs into Rodriguez and draws a blocking foul for the first Pios foul of the game so far. Rodriguez, first personal. Cody Waisugi in for the first time, replacing Rodriguez. Couple of changes for Redlands as well. Curry's back in. Hiliak to throw in, but the other change was Logan Dorsey. First time the freshman's been on the floor. 6'6" out of LA. Redlands down 8-7, 14.5 to play first period. Ferguson drove baseline, toss out to the top. Dorsey brings it back in and tried to tuck it to Gordon, who loses it out of bounds. Turnover, Redlands. Curry's the top of the 1-2-1-1 press. Might even be a 1-2-2. Trunkett looking for help, gets Sugi. Now far side Sugi off the pass from Trunkett. Breaks the line, stumbling down and gets a call. Third team foul. That was charged to Curry, his second. Coach for Lewis and Clark, one of the assistants, Christian Grobrecker, has a cast on his left hand, barking out instructions to the Pios offensively. Sugi off to the left side. Hands off exchange with Datcher the fourth, who started the game. Henderson, hand off right wing, thought about pulling up. Guarded by Gordon, takes him to the rim. Ditched off to Datcher the fourth. Now the Pios run out of time. 3 to shoot. Datcher the fourth couldn't get it off in time. And it's a shot clock violation against the Pios. Third giveaway by Lewis and Clark. Henderson out, Berg returns. Amadi back in and Curry comes out for Redlands. 8-7, Redlands trails by 1, 13:53 to play in the first, driving left to right offensively, and a far side foul is called as Treadwell closed out on the far sideline for the second Pios team foul, his first. Lewis and Clark off a 75-65 loss at Warner Pacific across town. Outscored in the second half by 9 after that game was a 1-point margin end of the first half. Amadi throws right, attacking the right side hoop. Ferguson takes it, drives and blocked. Nice help from Berg. Working in from the left, Lewis and Clark gets Treadwell with the board. Pios try to bring it across. Treadwell does, steers the ship to the middle. Bounce pass to the cutter, left side. Datcher the fourth out to Berg for 3. Too strong. Treadwell contested the weak side rebound, but it's brought down off the hop by Amadi. Lewis and Clark in white have to hit some of those threes. Made 1 of 3 so far, especially when they get clean looks. Lewis and Clark has hit on 32% this season. Baseline cutter, Amadi tipped away by Sugi. Stays with Redlands, 16 to shoot underneath. The Pios bring in Mikey Medlock Jr. for the first time, replacing Datcher the fourth. Great start from Griffin. Dorsey removed from the game, back in is Boston. Mikey Medlock Jr., team's second leading scorer, just under double digits at 9.8 per game. Ferguson got a screen, spun in the lane, thought he traveled. 9 to shoot, back out on top. Amadi long 3, front rim tip, rebound Gordon. There's one of those offensive boards for the Bulldogs. Boston shakes from the far corner, thought baseline, Trunkett close it off. Lewis and Clark in man-to-man, leading 8-7. Redlands has the ball, just under 13 to go in the first half. Screen, driving, Boston, nice off-balance layup. Working left to right down the left edge of the lane. Fourth lead change in sub 8 minutes of play so far. Lewis and Clark trying to break pressure. 4 to do so. Trunkett head to Mikey Medlock Jr. And Lewis and Clark in front court going to the left side basket. Medlock Jr. driving left with 4 to shoot, off balance left square, didn't go. Lewis and Clark has to get another defensive stop. Amadi against Sugi left side, out to the top. Head fake, Gordon drives in on Berg, large strides. Hook shot, right hand, no good, dead center. Rebound Medlock Jr. on the right. Pios push far side ahead to Treadwell. Chases it down, shy of the corner, underhead toss, near side 3. Corner, swoops out, no good. Missed by Trunkett. Berg nearly had the rebounds. Gordon gets it instead for Redlands. Up 9-8. 11:35 to play in the first. Good pacing back and forth between the two. Mahdi works in on Trunkett, stops in the paint, spins, just in front of the free throw line, missed it. Gordon rebounds, tipped out, but it's claimed by Treadwell, 2-on-1. Treadwell to the rim. Nice patience to make the move on Boston. And the Pios swing the lead back their direction, 10-9. Again, receiving votes in the top 25. Redlands on the road. in the Pacific Northwest for 8 days. Boston drives, kicks, right baseline cutter. Gordon flying to the rim, missed the first, but tips in his own second. Redlands has answered almost every step of the way when the Pios have started to build a lead. Never could build past that 1-point lead mark. Bounce pass left side. Berg underneath, tried to toss it back. Waisugi between the circles, jab step, stops right elbow. Passes left to Medlock Jr. 10 to shoot, long three. Waisugi missed it, ricochets left side. A rebound pulled down by Boston. Treadwell fell down behind the play, and out and running is Redlands. Amadi, left side, had the ball stripped free and stolen by Berg. Trunkett has it, fires ahead to Medlock Jr. over the front of the rim. The Pios get the lead back. 12-11, Lewis and Clark on top. This game has been within 1 point after the Bulldogs opened with a 5-0 lead. Hook shot, left shallow. Hiliak missed it. Lewis and Clark has a chance at more than a 1-point lead for the first time in the game. Trunkett dribbles to the top, kicks it near corner. Berg moves away from the baseline, ran smack into Boston. Near half court, Medlock Jr. right wing. Now takes off. What a hesitation move for Mikey. Rattles it in. Timeout taken. Redlands. Largest Pios lead, 14-11, 9:32 remaining. Force the timeout from the Bulldogs. And Lewis and Clark is up by 3 in the first half on Pios Stream.
During the break in today's game, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube page. Subscribe now at youtube.com/LCPios.
Ishani Hansji of women's cross country and track and field tells us why she wants to work with children.
At Riverdale, I kind of just hang out with the kids. It's a really cool position. The main thing that appealed to me in this position was the fact that I got to work with kids. That's not something that college students usually get the opportunity to do. When I kind of looked into studying psychology, it was something that I really reared towards just because of my love for kids as well. The main thing that I want to do is hopefully do some sort of therapy with kids that struggle with mental health issues. So it's really exciting to kind of go into my psychology classes and apply some of the concepts that I learned from there into the daycare, or something that I learned from the daycare into psychology.
For all things Lewis and Clark athletics, visit lcpioneers.com.
Check out our Lewis and Clark alumni marketplace on our website, lcpioneers.com/marketplace, to save on products and services offered from our alumni-owned businesses, including Gardenia Creative, Mind on Fire Institute, Portland Pet Food Company, and others. That's lcpioneers.com/marketplace. 14-11, Lewis and Clark's largest lead of the game so far. Forced Redlands use a timeout. Bulldogs haven't had a field goal for a minute and a half, but neither team has pulled away from the other so far in this game. Left to right, offensively in gray for Redlands. Far side, got it out, back to Boston. Trying to work it to the near side, or the far side to Ware. Driving down, Boston working to the right side. He's hit one from there before, but short arm that layup just slightly. No good. Lewis and Clark the rebound running. Treadwell driving, poked free as Ware caught up to it. Stays with Lewis and Clark underneath. Sebastian Dupre in for the first time. Pio's 6'8" senior, Upland, California. Right block on the inbound with Berg to his left. Waisugi on the left elbow, across from Medlock Jr. Treadwell to throw in. Gordon checks back and replacing Boston. Joins Hastings. Curry with 2 fouls. Ware. Fifth on the floor for the Bulldogs is Gates. Pio's left side basket in white. Trying to get to a 2-0 record at home. Jumper, Medlock Jr. to the right elbow, just short. Medlock Jr. 2 of 4 to start. Rebound Redlands. Into front court. Dupre plays off Gordon, not worried about a 3-point shot. Outside to Curry near half court. Drives forward, kicks right. Head fake Gates on the right wing. Now to the top, crossover. Hastings, jump pass right, 3 on the way. Ware skips off, no good. Weak side board, controlled by Dupre. Medlock Jr. throws it up, looking for Berg. Treadwell was down, jumping underneath the basket. Pio's okay with that one being omitted, instead going in the half court. Dupre, power move, driving in from the right block. Left-handed hook shot, no good. Offensive rebound. Seb doing a nice job, throws out Sugi, gets a tip pass. The half-court line, brings it back toward the right angle. Outside to Medlock Jr. High pressure defense from Boston. Make that Gates. Medlock Jr. gets around it, striding to the basket. Missed the shot. Rebound Gordon. Outlets far side Curry. Cross half court against 2 defenders. Takes it. And the shot is partially blocked by Berg and/or Treadwell. Medlock Jr. and Treadwell exit. Datcher the fourth comes in. Will reset the lineups after the timeout on the floor with 7:50 to play. Opening half. Lewis and Clark took over the lead at the 9:32 mark. I should say took their largest lead at the 9:32 mark and still has it about a minute and a half later. Go to
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Parents find out they're receiving a child mere hours before bringing them home. With Love provides safe, clean, quality clothing and supplies so foster parents can focus on loving their little one. You can help through financial gifts, volunteering, and donating items at withloveoregon.org. And thanks again to our alumnus Laurel Carroll and Gardenia Creative for spotlighting this nonprofit partner. You can find out more about both With Love and Gardenia Creative at lcpioneers.com/marketplace. Lewis and Clark shooting 37% so far for the game. Redlands just hitting 29%. Leading scorer is 5 from Henderson for Lewis and Clark. 5 from Amadi for Redlands. Redlands has the ball, right side of half court offensively. Ferguson shakes, drives right, and blocked late. But a blocking foul. Sugi was underneath, and that's the third team foul. Sugi picks up his first. Sugi, Berg, Dupre with Griffin, Datcher the fourth, and Jackson on the floor for the Pios. Amadi, who hit the game's first shot, with Dorsey behind the three-point arc. Hastings and Curry in the lane to rebound as Ferguson makes the first free throw. First attempt of the game from Redlands. Third in offensive rebounds per game and steals per game. Fourth in turnovers forced. And fifth in scoring offense for this Redlands team. Both free throws are good for Ferguson. First points for the leading scorer from Redlands. Berg in front court on the long mid-court pass. Waits for teammates. Sugi lets a defender fly by and just squares up the three. That one barely skipped out, but Seb off the tip from Jackson puts it back. Lewis and Clark back up 3. 16-13. Drive from the left wing. Off balance, falling to the floor, Ferguson. The deluxe take. First field goal made by Ferguson. 4 quick points after being shut out for the game's first 12 minutes. Sugi trapped near half court, throws it ahead to Jackson, top of the key, bounce pass right, Datcher the fourth, went for the dunk, had to redirect himself midair, missed the layup, but got a foul on the fourth team foul from Redlands. That's on Dorsey, his first. .703 to play in the first, sends Datcher the fourth to the free throw line. 6'6" senior out of Western Oregon University, transferred to Lewis and Clark prior to last year. He's good for about 6 rebounds per game in his junior year. Free throw is no good. Nathan Matera in for the first time. replacing Hastings on the Redlands side. Tara, freshman 6'5" out of Fontana, California. 8 different transfers on Redlands. Tara's not one of them. Free throws missed. Pioneers' lead is just 1. Left to right. Bray Unis. Ferguson trying to take over, drives left. Long layup, no good. Pioneers get the rebound. Berg receives it from Sugi in the front court. No one's on him at the left wing. Throws away Sugi, dead center for 3. Coney put it through. 4-point lead for the home team. Lewis and Clark up with 6:36 remaining in the first. Pioneers, second triple on 7 tries. Free throw line. Mahdi threw it out to the right side, looking for Curry. 10 to shoot. In a double team, navigating, throws to the top. Dorsey for 3. Back rim, no good. Nice box off by Jackson on Ferguson. Got the ball to land near his knees and got it on the defensive rebound. Berg right side into around the horn left side. Sugi fakes, stops at the free throw line, throws right. Berg inside to Dupre. Right block against Curry. Fakes outside, spins left, hook shot off to the left, no good. Rebound pulled down by Dorsey. Rebound margin this game, +1, Lewis and Clark. Driving right, spinning. Amadi throws out far corner. Curry to the wing, same side. Ferguson gets underneath again, throws it to the top. Amadi thought about the shot, throws right instead. Good job rotating the defense by the Pios. Finally a 3 near corner by Ferguson is too long. Dupre got the rebound. 5:27 to go first. Lewis and Clark's margin is 4, up to Berg, driving right. And the Pios go up by 6. 21-15. Bulldogs have been held without points for a good amount of time. Pull up by Curry is no good. Lewis and Clark gets the rebound. I think just 1 field goal since about the 9-minute mark for Redlands. Sugi, quick 3 from the far side, missed it. Curry coast to coast on the rebound, checked by Berg, his second block of the game. Nate has 3. Dash of the 4th. Got the pass. Ahead near side, worked in, brought it back out left wing. Pios trying to add to a 6-point margin. Berg, top of the key, had it knocked away, stolen. Dorsey, head to Ferguson, stops at the free throw line, underhand toss left wing, 3. Curry, too long. Rebound same side, grabbed on the left block by Jackson and the Pios. Sugi and Jackson in backcourt, still fending off the full court pressure. Bring it in the front court, driving in. Jackson hangs, puts up an underhand right shot off the back rim, no good. Mahdi the rebound, brings it to the front court, had it off his knee. Dribbled it off his knee, turned it over. 6th Bulldogs giveaway. Pios trying to add to the largest lead of the game, 21-15. Fire it into Seb. And Dupre let a defender fly by, and the Pios are on a run. Up 8, 23-15 with 3:54 to go against the 3-1 Redlands Bulldogs. Pios haven't allowed a field goal for nearly 4 minutes. Pull up 3, Ferguson off to the left, no good. Sugi, good seal off. Up to Dupre, he's by himself. Slam down, timeout Redlands. .333 to go first half. Post-Thanksgiving leftovers. And the Pios lead by 10, 25-15 on Pio Stream.
During the break in today's game, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube page. Subscribe now at youtube.com/LCPios.
Jamison Richards of women's basketball shares their experience interning with shoe company Moolah Kicks.
We're the first women's basketball shoe brand, and we make shoes specifically for women's basketball players. And the mission of the brand is to just put hype into women's basketball. I go into Dick's Sporting Goods and talk to the footwear leads and the managers there and just make sure they're selling the shoe correctly. And it's pretty cool because I get to educate them about the brand. A lot of them don't know much about the inequalities in women's basketball or with the footwear part of it. Yeah, it's been cool being closer with the Portland women's basketball community and kind of knowing that I can make an impact.
For all things Lewis and Clark athletics, visit lcpioneers.com.
25-15, Lewis and Clark in the middle of a 15-2 run over the last 3.5 minutes against Redlands. Both teams looking for victory number 4 on the year. And the Pios over that stretch, 5 of 11 shooting, holding Redlands to just 1 of 8 made field goals. Redlands has the ball. The Bulldogs took their second timeout. Top of the key, Boston stops left elbow, keeps his dribble rather. He's worked it farther down, gets outside to Hastings, 3-ball off the mark. Redlands just 1 of 9 shooting from three-point range. Ahead to Jackson in the reverse lay-in left to right. Hung on the rim, falls through. Pios on a 17-2 run. Hiliak across the free throw line, throws back right. Outside to Gates, guarded by Henderson, who returns for the Pios out of the timeout. Handoffs around the top. 3 look for Boston, splashed it through. Datcher the fourth kind of played off of him. Pios run the baseline with Trunkett, inbound to Jackson. Kind of gets in front of the deepest pressers. Now hands off to Trunkett. Brings it in the front court. Stops past the top of the key. Almost looked for Henderson down low, had it tipped away. Rodriguez back in as well, now has it right wing. Pios right to left in white. Skip past Jackson. Stops left elbow. Bounce pass out to the corner. And taken away. Gates into the front court for Redlands, trailing 27-18. 2 minutes to play until halftime. Off balance. Reverse shot over the head by Gates. Narrowly missed, and the Pios use their use it or lose it timeout. That shot by Gates was very off balance. He just threw it up over his head, and that thing hung on and almost fell. Lewis and Clark takes the timeout with 1:55 remaining in the opening half, leading 27-18. Fun game will be on the air at Willamette on Friday for Lewis and Clark Audio. Pioneers' first conference games of the season. Lewis and Clark wins over Pomona Pitzer, a couple over Portland Bible so far this year. 10 points or less in their only defeats to Santa Cruz and Warner Pacific so far this year. Lewis and Clark has won every game against Redlands since these teams have met since 2013. They played in Portland back in 2015. Now Redlands assistant Corey Coombe had 5 points, 5 rebounds, and a co-team high 4 assists that day for Lewis and Clark. Got to talk to the Lake Oswego product before the game. Lewis and Clark by 9. Out of the Pios timeout, leading 27-18. Working the left side basket. Rodriguez, free throw line. Out to Treadwell, right wing to the corner, same side. Henderson, one arms it left corner, and then to the near side wing. Rodriguez's pass is taken by Gates. Redlands gets a takeaway. From the top, Boston drives right, squeezes out to the far side. 3, Hiliak missed it, make that Hastings no good on the 3. Boston offensive rebound. Bounce pass to the middle of the paint. Hastings sends it over to Gordon, who nearly dunked it in from the right block. Couple of back-to-back buckets for Redlands off some Pios turnovers. 6 giveaways for Lewis and Clark. And a backcourt foul on Redlands, the 5th team foul charged to Boston, his first. Lewis and Clark came in 4th in the nation, which is 8 turnovers per game. Have 6 in the first half against this high-octane pressure defense. Matera replaces Hastings for Redlands, defending in the gray unis. Trunkett, guarded by Gates, works to the right side, hands off with Henderson, who bobbled it, poked free by Gates and out of bounds.
They're jumping everything. What's open?
Minute 3 remaining. Lewis and Clark, a little bit of a scoring lull now, about 2 minutes without a field goal since the Pios were on that 17-2 run. Rodriguez with Trunkett out on top. Trunkett steers it left side. Medlock Jr. back in the game, running the baseline. Treadwell from the left wing, drives, kicks over to Mikey. Touch pass to Rodriguez, brings it in. Stops shy of the basket, out to Henderson. His 3 is blocked by Gordon. stays inbounds, and Gates grabs it. 40 seconds to play until halftime. Hiliak to the cutter, Boston. Right side kick out to Gordon for three, just short. Weak side rebound, tipped away by Matera, and right in the arms of Gordon, who lays it in. Put back points for Redlands. The deficit is now 5. Lewis and Clark's lead trimmed to 5. Final 20 seconds to go in the first half. Pioneers still continue to break this press. Rodriguez in from the left wing, throws right. Open three for Medlock Jr. swirled down. 3 is good for Mikey. Pio's third triple. 5 seconds left in the opening half. Long three near half court for Matera, nearly went, and it's narrowly missed. Lewis and Clark takes a 30-22 lead into halftime. Redlands had a good amount of leads. We saw a total of 7 lead changes in that opening 20 minutes, but then Lewis and Clark uses a 17-2 run, and the Pios are up by 8 as we go to halftime. Thanks for being with us as we'll bring you some audio Pio spotlights, which you can watch at youtube.com/LCPios. Invite you to check those out on our YouTube page, and please check us out there. Subscribe so that you can see all of the opportunities that are there to learn more about our Lewis and Clark student athletes, thanks to the great group of our athletic communications professionals here in Portland, where we are. Pamplin Sports Center, day after Thanksgiving. Men's basketball halftime score, Lewis and Clark Pioneers 30, Redlands Bulldogs 22. Halftime is next on Pio Stream.
During the break in today's game, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube page. Subscribe now at youtube.com/LCPios.
Maddie Pass tour as of women's soccer on why she wants to teach history.
My passion for history specifically has always been around. I think as early as elementary school. That question for why is the world we have the way it is always has been in my mind, and looking at the sort of the structures, how those structures came to be, and how those structures affect people. I also had really great history teachers who ingrained a sort of desire for asking questions. Why do certain systems of power put in place? How do we help others who don't benefit from those systems of power?
For all things Lewis and Clark athletics, visit lcpioneers.com. During the break in today's game, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube page. Subscribe now at youtube.com/LCPios.
Nikoi Chales of men's basketball on the adjustment from junior college to Lewis and Clark.
Going to a JUCO right after high school wasn't something I planned on originally. It was kind of last second thing, but my coach, James Giacomazi, he's a great coach, a Hall of Fame coach in my opinion, at the JUCO level in California, but he was able to relate to me in a way where he was in that same exact position, and he let me know that it was like a move that was like perfect for him. And to be able to find Lewis and Clark and talk to Coach Tim and the team, I felt like it was perfect for me. Like, I wanted to go here, and I felt like I belonged here.
For all things Lewis and Clark athletics, visit lcpioneers.com.
Happy post-Thanksgiving to everyone who's joining us from Pamplin Sports Center. Lewis and Clark leading at halftime 30-22. Ryan Goff with you along with our Pio Stream crew as Lewis and Clark went on a 17-2 run to have the opportunity to get this lead 30-22 at halftime. And again, the Pios with a win in this one will have another victory out of the SCIAC against a team receiving votes in the top 25. Pomona Pitzer was one of those teams at the beginning of the year, and the same thing for Redlands coming into the season. Top 25 receiving votes team, 3-1 on the year so far, and at halftime, 22 points for a team that averages 98.5 per game. I mentioned we're going to give you an opportunity to enjoy one of our Pio spotlights. These are available on our YouTube page, youtube.com/LCPios. We like to share them with you, especially when we're doing Pio Stream games on the road. Chance to bring you one of these audio only that you can watch on demand at youtube.com/LCPios. And because today's broadcast being directed by Bethany Ballesteros from volleyball, we'll have a chance to hear from Bethany talking about her goal of working in conservation after college.
My major is environmental studies. I'm also minoring in earth system science, which is a new minor that they have at the school. And once I graduate from Lewis and Clark, I'm hoping to go back home to Hawaii and work at this fish pond called He'eia Fish. Days of the week, like when I'm just back at home during summer break, winter break, I'll go and volunteer and say hi to the organization and just make friends. So they're a nonprofit organization that basically is focused on conserving He'eia Fish Pond. This is important to them because, well, to all of Hawaii actually, because He'eia Fish Pond is one of the last largest existing fish ponds. Well, there's also not a lot of fish ponds still being like actually used in a way. I did my capstone on this past spring, and yeah, there's a very small amount of fish ponds left in Hawaii, and it used to be like very plentiful throughout all the islands. And so this fish pond in particular, it's very special because there's not many on Oahu, but also there's just not a lot in general. A fish pond is essentially what it sounds like, a pond full of fish, except for native Hawaiian fish ponds, it's something different. It's something more than just a pond full of fish. So basically it's this enclosure made of rock walls, and it's surrounded completely by rock walls stacked on top of each other. The rock is not filled in with cement or anything. It's just perfectly placed on top of each other so it doesn't fall, doesn't break. And then in these rock walls, there are like gaps, and at those gaps there are these things called makahas, which are sluice gates, and this allows fish and water and other ocean creatures to make their way into the fish pond. And essentially, for He'eia Fish Pond, there's two main water sources, the He'eia Stream and the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. And the makahas allow for both water from the stream and the ocean to make its way into the fish pond. And in the fish pond, it mixes and creates brackish water. And brackish water is particularly important to the fishes because that's what they want to eat, or it has nutrients in it that they want to eat, like the phytoplankton and things like that. So from there, that attracts the fishes into the pond, and the baby fishes that can't fit through the gate, they will make its way into the pond and eat a lot, grow very big, very fat, and so fat that they can't fit back out the gate. So they're stuck inside the fish pond, but it's okay because all their needs are fulfilled within the fish pond. So they get to live their lives, repopulate, all of that. And then when people need to harvest fish, they can go to the fish pond and harvest it from there. Paipao He'eia the organization itself is definitely focused on educating not just the people within the He'eia community, but also further than that, people within the watershed, people just all of Oahu, anyone who relies on anything, because the island is so interconnected in many different ways that one thing always leads to another. Part of the reason that I've had an interest for environmental science is because I'm from Oahu, and just knowing that type of natural environment, that beauty, and then coming up here to Oregon and not seeing anything like that anywhere close, just highlights the importance of why we need to preserve those species. And sadly enough, Hawaii is the endangered species capital of the world, so it's more so important that we save these species, because not related, but like they all rely on each other, and if you break one relationship, then you make the whole system fail.
Bethany Ballesteros, Pioneers recently honored senior, one of the seniors on the Lewis and Clark volleyball team. Had a chance to talk to Bethany before the game, helping us direct our show today. One of the many Pio spotlights you can see at youtube.com/LCPios. We'll step away and come back. We'll take a look at halftime stats, let you know what's going on around Lewis and Clark Athletics and Northwest Conference and what's ahead for this men's basketball program. Halftime score, Lewis and Clark 30 and Redlands 22 on Pio Stream. Thanks for being with us on this Friday from Portland. Lewis and Clark hosting Redlands. Halftime score 30-22. Lewis and Clark. Invite you to check out our Lewis and Clark Alumni Marketplace. Special offers from our alumni base that you can take advantage of right now at lcpioneers.com/marketplace. And those include the Mind on Fire Institute, where something happens that you can't do on your own. It's a space where you're allowed to explore freely and discover new perspectives. It's not quite a class, it's something more. We're not just thinking, we're igniting sparks. Leave charged up, fueled by what others say about the same things you've been pondering. For the price of a gym membership, the Mind on Fire Institute returns you to the humanities with sessions like the French Decadent Movement and Livy's History of Rome. Visit mindonfireinstitute.com to embrace learning as a lifestyle. Discover the power of collaborative thought and sign up for their newsletter at mindonfireinstitute.com and get 1 month free at the Lewis and Clark Alumni Marketplace at lcpioneers.com/marketplace. Halftime score 30-22, Lewis and Clark on top of Redlands, and you have some pretty interesting things emerging from this game so far. Pioneers have 8 different scorers in the first half, led by 7 from Mikey Medlock Jr. off the bench. Meanwhile, leading scorer for Redlands, Omari Ferguson, who's good for about 20 points per game, is just 1 of 6 from the floor for 4 points in the opening part of this game. Lewis and Clark has also only turned over the ball 6 times. That is still above what Lewis and Clark's pace has been this year, averaging just 8 per game. But Redlands forces 26 turnovers per game, and so far Lewis and Clark has done a good job of making sure that they minimize those opportunities for the Bulldogs. What's going on in the Northwest Conference? Post-Thanksgiving games today. Mentioned that Redlands has played a whole bunch of these Northwest Conference teams. This is the only matchup today. Tomorrow, Hardin-Simmons will be at Whitman, and Portland Bible plays at Linfield. Actually, that's not even tomorrow. That's going into next week. This is the final game of November. Then next Thursday is when those games happen, and I mentioned we'll be at Willamette on Friday for the opening of Northwest Conference games with a Lewis and Clark audio-only broadcast from Salem. Whitworth is undefeated in the conference, 4-0. Willamette is 5-1, and then Lewis and Clark and Pacific are next down the standings coming into today with 3-2 records. Other Lewis and Clark activities in the athletics calendar will be on the air tomorrow at 1:55 p.m. for a 2 o'clock start from Salem as Andoris's Lewis and Clark Pioneers women's basketball team takes on the Corbin Warriors. And the calendar fairly bare until that Friday matchup between the Pios and Bearcats in Salem. About to get started with the second half. Lewis and Clark on top 30-22. 5 points from Sam Henderson, 6 off the bench from Dupre. Lewis and Clark dominating in points off the bench, 18-6. So Lewis and Clark in pretty good shape. It'll be a matter of how they start off this second half. Even if you look at it just through a recent lens, Pioneers were 1 point separated against Warner Pacific in their last game, but then outscored 42-33 in the second half. And a lot of that damage done in the first 13 or 14 minutes of the second half when Warner Pacific opened up on a 30-12 run. Redlands off a win at Linfield, 90-73. Linfield only scored 23 points in that first half, and Redlands built a 15-point lead. You look at the difference between that and today, where Lewis and Clark is up 30-22, holding Redlands to 22 points. I have to imagine that's the Bulldogs' lowest first half points total this season. Yeah, they only scored 29 against Pacific. Turned it over on their opening possession, stolen by Amari Ferguson from Tyan Jackson, but he missed the lay-in. Piles get it back and feed it ahead to Griven Datcher the fourth, who dunked it down with two hands. Pios back up by 10, 32-22. 19:41 to play in the second half. Pios dressed in white. Nate Berg, along with Jake Rodriguez, Sam Henderson to go with Jackson and Datcher the fourth. Pios in white unis, gray for Redlands. Jake Hilaviak, along with Chosen Amadi. Top of the key, Devon Gates over the left side for Jace Boston to go with Ferguson. Pios, man-to-man look. Amadi had Rodriguez fall down, takes a three, front rim, no good. And Rodriguez gets the rebound, lost the ball in backcourt trying to fend off Hilaviak. And the first points of the second half scored on the steal in backcourt. Pios had a transition opportunity, ended up losing the basketball. Pioneers left to right. We give you an audio-style broadcast if you can only listen. Cross lane, bounce pass on the baseline, left from Henderson to Berg. Berg went up, lost the ball. Didn't get a shot off. Ferguson driving in, tried to kick over his left shoulder and put it out in front beyond the reach of Gates. Turnover, Redlands. Pioneers up 32-24 in the first couple of minutes of the second half. 3-1 Redlands, 3-2 Lewis and Clark. Berg to the high post, Datcher the fourth in traffic. Had it poked free, ball now squirts into backcourt off of Redlands. Jackson tracks it down but gets across half court with just 9 to shoot. Pushes ahead, got around Gates all the way to the rim. Tried to do a little up and under, got hit by the bottom of the rim. Rebounds, Boston ahead to Ferguson in front court. Drops it off to Amadi. Boston, the trailer, is there and lays it up over the front of the rim. Boston has 7, team most, ties the game most to go with Medlock Jr.'s 7. 2 minutes off the second half clock. Lewis and Clark's lead is 6. Up the from Rodriguez to Berg, and he missed it, but was fouled. Jace Boston gets the foul. That's his, and that sends the Pios to the free throw line. Referees Chuck Frank, Travis Bain, and Larry Leinbach. Pios talking over some of their strategy right in front of the Pios coaching staff. Free throw, no good, spun off on the miss by Berg. 3 different changes for Redlands. Jonathan Cannelin, first-year assistant with the Pios, scribbling something on the whiteboard. Back in Kendrick Curry, Lucas Gordon, and Thomas Hastings for Redlands. Second free throws in, Pios at the line, just 2 of 6 now. Amadi stayed out for Redlands, so does Hiliviak. Right side, Hiliviak comes open, 3 on the top is good on the kick out from Curry. And Redlands has outscored Lewis and Clark 7-3 to start the second half. 17:35 remaining. Rodriguez spins across half court, far side. Jump pass in the middle, Jackson. Near the right elbow, brings it back out. Still man-to-man from Redlands. Left side, spinning Rodriguez to the right. Stumbled, got it out to Henderson off a tip ball. Henderson with 6 to shoot. Throws left to Berg from the wing. Drives right hand, bumps into a defender, left elbow, and called for a travel, trying to regain his balance. 17-10 left second half. Nathan Matera comes in for Amadi. Cody Waisugi in for Lewis and Clark, replacing Jackson. Waisugi 1 for 4 from the field in 10 minutes in the first half. Hit a 3-pointer. Matera played 5 minutes. Just missed a shot. Driving right, Curry had it popped free for a moment before the whistle. That foul charge to Rodriguez. First team foul, Rodriguez's second. 3 minute second half clock. Lewis and Clark 33, Red 29. Lined it up across the baseline. Around the block, Liviak to the top. Gordon, hands off. Curry gets a screen from his teammate, throws left, and a kick out to Hastings, buries a 3. Net wraps around the basket to our left. Officials blow it dead to mess with that, but that is now a 1-point lead for Lewis and Clark. Last time the Bulldogs were on top were with 10:27 to go in the first. Datch of the fourth of the Pios trying to break the press left to right. Waisugi in the front court, fires up to the near corner. Henderson dunks it down with a big take from the right corner. And it wraps the net again. A take for Sam, and he has 7 points. 35-32. Light gray letters. Bulldogs across the chest. White trim. Gray uniforms for Redlands. Trying to go to 2 on the road and 3-1 on this Pacific Northwest extended 8-day road trip. Driving left, Curry draws a... And Henderson picks up his first team foul, 2 on the Pios. Beat Georgia 105-97 in the first game of the Ken Schumann Classic hosted by Pacific. And then Lewis and Clark sees this Redlands team that was off a loss in the second game, 89-83 to the host team before beating Linfield in McMinnville prior to making this trip to Portland. Timeout taken by Lewis and Clark. Each team has used a pair of 30-second timeouts. And Lewis and Clark leads 35-32. Redlands about to head to the free throw line. Check out our Lewis and Clark Alumni Marketplace. Special offers available for all of our fans listening and watching on Pio Stream. You can get this right before the holidays. Lewis and Clark Alumni Marketplace offers, including Portland Pet Food Company. Founder Katie McCarran started Portland Pet Food Company when her 14-year-old poodle Rosie lost her appetite, and her health started to decline when there wasn't food with ingredients that Katie could trust and that Rosie would eat. Portland Pet Food Company was born. A family-owned and women-owned business, Portland Pet Food Company manufactures human-grade cat meals, dog meals, and dog treats with ingredients grown and sourced in the U.S. at PortlandPetFoodCompany.com. Get a special offer from them and all of our Lewis and Clark alumni-owned businesses at lcpioneers.com/marketplace. 16-14 remaining in the second. Lewis and Clark 35, Redlands 32. Free throws for Redlands. Curry goes to the line. Just the third and fourth attempts for the Bulldogs in this game. This game has been played very much in a live action way. Pios were out rebounding for what it's worth. Redlands in the first half by 4 and just 1 fewer offensive rebounds, a thing that the Bulldogs have been doing great so far this year. Curry makes both free throws, 35-34. Lewis and Clark left to right in white, leading by 1, 16-10 to play in the second half. Sugi, long cross-court pass, gets it into front court. Lewis and Clark sets the half-court set. 15 seconds to shoot with Datcher the fourth on the left wing. Brings it in with the right hand. Out to Rodriguez near corner 3. Skips off far side. Berg battled for it, but it's rebounded by Hastings. Keeps working through the paint. Left side. Foul. Pios have been whistled for as many fouls in the second half as the entire first half. That one's charged for the fourth. 15:46 to play in the second half. Clark, a 35-34 lead with 15:46 and half on Pio Stream.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Clark right now leading 35-34 on Pio Stream. Invite you to check out our Lewis and Clark alumni marketplace at lcpioneers.com/marketplace. Special offers from Hi-Fi Baking Co., EV Nails, and Energy Kayaking Rafting, among others. So you can take advantage of these heading into the month of December. Great opportunity to share things with family and friends, coworkers, etc. That's at lcpioneers.com/marketplace. Redlands looking for its first lead since the 10:27 mark of the opening half. Free throw for Hastings. Missed the first. First miss by Redlands. Second one. That one's in. We're tied at 35, and that's also our first tie since it was 0-0. Ferguson's back in, leading scorer on the season for Redlands. Held to just 4 points today. Hiliviak, along with Hastings, dressed in gray. Full court press. Rodriguez breaks it. Stops in front of Gordon, kicks left. Now swing to the far corner. Datcher the fourth missed a 3 on the pass from Sugi. Berg offensive rebound for Lewis and Clark. Henderson makes 5 on the floor for the white-wearing Lewis and Clark Pioneers. Amadi's the 5th on the floor for Redlands. 8 to shoot. Round the horn to the top. Datcher the fourth takes off all the way to the rim, and just a little shallow off the finger roll, missed the lay-in. Tied at 35, and Amadi picks up a foul just across midcourt, and that's the third foul on Rodriguez. 35. Sebastian Dupre comes in for Lewis, placing Berg. And Boston is in for Gordon. Pioneers make a late change as well. Marcus Baston for the first time. Brisbane, California. First-year player at 6'1". 4th in the conference in assists per game so far at 4. First minutes for Bast. Officials make a quick reset on the clocks inside Pamplin Sports Center. Pioneers stuck on 35 points for just under 2 minutes after Henderson made the dunk. He has 7 points, leading the way with Medlock Jr. And Sam and Mikey are combined 6 of 10 so far. Redlands in the front court, attacking the left side basket. Ferguson gets it back off the inbound from Boston to Amadi, step back 3 as Boston ran interference. 3 is no good, but Hastings gets the rebound. Driving in, Amadi, pull up over way, Sugi off the back rim, no good, and Henderson fights for the rebound, hugs it. Outlets it to Datcher the 4th, nearly stolen, now the Pios have numbers. Datcher the 4th tries to squeak in a bounce pass down low to Dupre that's kicked away by Redlands. And Lewis and Clark keeps it in front court in a 35-35 game. Right side inbound, Dupre from Henderson. Near side wing, Pios go to the right side hoop. Best to the right side. Sugi looks down low into Dupre, skips it far side. Henderson has a clean look, far corner. The 3 misses slightly. Datcher the 4th, put back right side is good. And the Pios do not relinquish the lead, up 37-35. Lewis and Clark has led since the mid-first half. 14-13 left in half number 2. Left side Boston isolated with Dupre. Sugi has Amadi defensively. Ferguson guard by Bast. Ferguson in his junior year. Transferred over to Redlands, drives right to left and elevating near the left block, draws a foul. 5th team foul on Lewis and Clark. And Dupre picks up his first. Sebastian Dupre, 6 first half points. Ferguson still stuck on 4. 1 of 7 shooting from the field. Left-handed free throw is good. Curry's in, Hastings is out. 7 points from Boston, and Hiliviak leading the way for Redlands. 5th in the nation in scoring at 98.5 per game, held to 36 so far, approaching midway point of the second half. Second free throw no good. Dupre brings in the rebound. Far side, tried to pass it up, it's stolen away. Boston has it, and Redlands has a chance at the lead. Sebastian has 5 rebounds, taken off left side, and another foul is called. Bass picks up his first on the 6th Pios team foul. So now Ferguson goes back to the free throw line. Bulldogs are 4 of 6 from the free throw line in the second half. Already have shot 6 free throws, now 7 as Ferguson ties the game at 37 all after there were combined 6 first half free throws shot. Andre Treadwell in for Bast. Treadwell in the first half for Lewis and Clark played about 10 minutes. 2 points, 2 boards. Ferguson swings the lead to Redlands for the first time since the 10:27 mark of the opening half. Lewis and Clark with 13:44 trailing for the first time in forever. Outscored by the Bulldogs 16-7 in the second half so far. Sugi ahead to Dupre. Pioneers can set up the half-court looks. Dupre spins outside to Sugi. Near corner, far side, skip to Treadwell. Sidestep, 3 on the way. That one started to fall, popped out. Ferguson brings in the rebound. And that body language coaching staff, Pio's not really executing what it seems that they want to get on these offensive trips. Now the chance for Bulldogs to continue to add to a little bit of a run as Ferguson jets to the basket and scores a layup. And now he has 9 points on the layup made. 12:58 to go in the second. 40-37 midcourt, and a foul is called. Thatcher the 4th ran into a defender. That's Ferguson's first personal, team second. Feels a little bit like a run for the Bulldogs now.
Let's go, let's execute. Execute, what are we doing?
Some changes. Pioneers bring in Ryan Trunkett.
Execute.
Gates back in for Redlands. Really looking back to like the Pios leading 33-26. Redlands has gone on a 14-5 run. Right side, Dupre, and a mob down low. Goes up dead center of the paint and draws a foul on Boston for team foul number 3. Boston's third.
Hey, Sam, don't put on the ground, just go up.
A 14-5 run. The 5-minute mark, or rather the 18:03 mark to where we are now at 12:44. So basically a 5-minute run for the Bulldogs. Dupre at the line. Missed the first. Pioneers down 40-37. Redlands opened up to a 5-0 lead, so nearing their largest lead of the game. Boston comes out, replaced by Matera.
Yeah, you get to the rim. No contested threes. Get to the rim. Right? Good job, Mike. You got to the rim. Look what happened.
Pioneers and Redlands had a couple of turnovers early in this game. Right now, Lewis and Clark 11-7 for Redlands. Lewis and Clark was out shooting the Bulldogs by 8% early on in the game. Had the Bulldogs down to 29% through 7.5 minutes or so in the first. Second free throw by Dupre is good, 40-38. Redlands has the ball up 2. 12:36 to go in the second, bumping on Mikey Medlock Jr. Gates throws it out. Medlock Jr. with Trunkett, Treadwell, Waisugi, and Dupre driving from the top. Curry put it up and over the top, missed everything. And it's off of Redlands, out of bounds. Lewis and Clark gets a stop.
Right? You didn't need to be helped there. That's all right. That's stay and rebound. Here we go. Good. Cut! Good. Good. Who's middle? Back up. Get out, Trump! Get out, Trump! Get out, Trump!
Pioneers went on their real first run of this game, 17-2. About the 7-minute mark to the 3-minute mark of the opening half really separated themselves. Redlands started the game 1 for 9 from 3-point range. Bulldogs have hit 3 of the last 8. Dupre bobbled it, gets a back right block, goes right to the left hand. Right in front of the rim, kind of did that little swing with the shoulders opposite, and then back to the left hand. Gordon was fooled. 40-40. Lewis and Clark gets a couple of trips down with points. Under 12 to play. Second half, left side. Into the paint. Mahdi outside to Curry. Spins right elbow, pulls up and banks it in, falling down. Mahdi leading the press in backcourt. Pios have 3 to get it across. Waisugi gets ahead to Medlock Jr. Step back 3. Right wing is good. Pioneers regain the lead, 43-42. 9th lead change in this post-Thanksgiving Friday matinee. Might be a getaway day for Redlands. They might be heading home tonight. 3, front rim, hangs and off to the left, no good by Gordon. Rebound Treadwell for Lewis and Clark. Waisugi, far side to Medlock Jr. 3, left wing, dot the court. Near side, far side, Medlock Jr. for 3. Pios by 4. Curry from the left wing drives in. Trunkett, great help. Was called for the foul, but I think that's still a great play by Ryan. Timeout on the floor. 10:38 remaining in the second half. Trunkett's first personal, 7th team foul on the Pios. Free throws for Redlands when we come back. And Lewis and Clark's on top, 46-42.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Clark Athletics, visit lcpioneers.com.
Redlands and Lewis and Clark, 46-42. Lewis and Clark with 10:38 remaining in the second half, leading right now. Pio's got a nice little stretch over the last couple of minutes after Redlands took their first lead since the opening half. 13:44 to go in this period. Redlands went up 38-37. The Pios have gone off for a 9-4 stretch. Curry at the line, 1-1 after the foul by Trunkett makes the first. Waisugi, Medlock Jr., Treadwell, Trunkett, and Dupre for the Pios. Mikey's up to 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting. Curry's second free throw, good as well. Ferguson checks in for Redlands, replacing the shooter Curry with Hiliviak, Gates, Matera, and Gordon dressed in gray. Treadwell had it popped free by Gates on the inbound. Pio's black trim, orange numbers, black letters on white. Lewis and Clark 1-0 at home so far this season after going 4-10 on this floor last year. Trying to go 4-0 against Redlands since 2013.
Get back, Trump, get out, Trump, get out, Trump, get out, Trump.
10.5 to play. Lewis and Clark trying to add to a 46-44 lead. Treadwell works in from the near sideline, gets in front of the rim, just a bit short on that shot. Andre so far 1 of 4 from the field. Redlands has the ball, works right to left offensively. Ferguson from half court, driving and checked away. Dupre with the help. Treadwell had the rebound, started the break, fell down, the ball stolen back by Redlands. Near side for a go-ahead three. Gordon is good. Tough swing of momentum after the big block by Dupre. 47-46, midway mark. Second half, Medlock Jr. tries another three. It hit 2 in a row. Missed it, just short. Rebound Gordon on the weak side. Gordon with that big go-ahead three, and now 8 rebounds. Ferguson to the top, Gordon. Head fake, gets around Dupre and drives it with a slam. Left hand taking off from the top. And it's a 3-point Redlands lead. 49-46. Lewis and Clark has led by as many as 10 in this game. Redlands has had a 5-point lead. It's 3 right now. One arm, Waisugi, far side, Medlock Jr. Starts the drive, kicks back to Cody. Waisugi, floater right side. Couldn't get the bank. Rebound underneath Dupre. Out top, Medlock Jr. for 3. Mikey front rim, no good. Rebound Waisugi. Medlock Jr. right side. Should be 12, Tim. Should be 12. 8:58. Remaining in the second half. Redlands 49, Lewis and Clark 46. Jackson comes in, Medlock Jr. Nice minutes from Mikey off the bench. Tara. Is out. Pioneers have it on top. Waisugi had Ferguson lunging at him. Off balance, probably should have been called for a travel. Said threw it away anyway. Back up to Gordon, challenges Dupre. Dupre held his spot on the left side, both elevated. Seb kind of got away with one, but good help. And Jackson in transition takes it coast to coast. It's getting wacky. 8:34 to go second half. 49-48, Redlands by 1. Dupre and Gordon, this has been a fun watch now between those two guys. Out to Gordon, deep three, front rim, no good. Went right down to the feet of Hastings, who dug it up, and it's fouled on the left side as the layup goes in. Count the basket foul, the 8th of the game in the second half for the Pios. That is the second charge to Waisugi. Dupre comes out. Great minutes from Sebastian. Gordon needs a breather too. Oliviak is back in. Free throw for Hastings, who just found that rebound down by his shoelaces and threw it back up as he was fouled. For an end one opportunity. Miss it back rim. Waisugi can't bring it in. Hastings gets it back. Waits for defenders to fly by. And he draws a foul underneath. That one's charged to Treadwell, and the Pios have 9 team fouls to Redlands 3. Treadwell's second personal foul. Hastings to the line. This is a chance to give the Bulldogs a 4-point lead. 51-48. It's really been since that lead change 6 minutes ago that this game has been a seesaw. 10 lead changes. Free throw is good by Hastings. Great game for Datch of the fourth. 3 of 8 shooting for 7 points. Comes in replacing Trunkett. Medlock Jr., 11 minutes, 13 points. High efficiency afternoon. Behind Medlock Jr., you have the 9 from Dupre on 14 minutes. He has 9.7 rebounds. Henderson Datch of the fourth down low. On the rebound in the lane with Jackson and Treadwell near the free throw line. Waisugi outside the arc for Hastings. At the line. Second free throw is no good. Rebound went over the top of Datch of the fourth, and Gates gets an offensive board. 9 offensive rebounds for one of the best teams in the nation. Top 5 this season so far. 10 to shoot. Ferguson kicks left. Boston work toward the corner, back to the wing, then drives to the lane. Puts it off right side, no good. Now the offensive rebound. Gates is blocked by Henderson. Henderson might have taken a shot to his mouth. Gets ahead to Treadwell. Challenges 1 on 3. Up and under, no good. Rebound to the far side. Jackson tracks it down. Skips away Sugi near sideline. Kept it in. Ditched it to Treadwell. Drives in right baseline. Stripped. Boston got away with it. And Hiliviak has possession. Ferguson on the trailer. Toss back. No good. Tips in his own shot. And it's Redlands' largest lead of the game again. In fact, it's the largest lead of the game. 54-48 with 7:19 remaining. Bounce pass far side Henderson to Treadwell. Head fake driving. Bounce pass right. Jackson kept it in bounds. Out to Waisugi. Sidestep with 2 defenders flying by and splashes through the 3. Pio's 6th make of the game from deep. And there's some moisture to be attended to underneath. Timeout on the floor. 7:04. That was a work of art. Waisugi let 2 defenders just sail past his left side. And he steps up and nails the 3. That's Cody's second 3-pointer of the game. Thanks for being with us on Friday. Lewis and Clark trailing 54-51. 7:04 left in the second half.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
42% shooting for Lewis and Clark. 36% shooting for Redlands. 13 points for Medlock Jr. leading the Pios. Ferguson has 7 in the second half and has 11 for the game on a 3 of 10 shooting afternoon to close out this stretch of 4 straight games in the Pacific Northwest. Pios, one-on-one pressure down the floor, but Now Waisugi picks up Gates at midcourt, right to left in gray. The Redlands offense with a 54-51 lead. Sub-7 to go in the second. Crossover, Curry had a hand in there by Datcher the fourth, popped it free. Rodriguez with the steal. Lewis and Clark left to right. In white, bounce pass left baseline. Henderson spinning in the lane. Drew contact, couldn't score it, but he was fouled. Hastings first, team foul number 4 on Redlands. Sends Henderson to the free throw line. Sam trying to approach 10 points in this game after a season high 18 at Warner Pacific, his last game on Saturday. Right now, Sam's 4th in the conference in field goal percentage. Missed the free throw, too strong. Pios led 30-22 at halftime. Right now trailing 54-51. Free throw front rim. Sam missed them both. That doesn't happen too often. Both him and Jack, his older brother, always been pretty high quality shooters any spot on the floor. Driving right. Out to Boston from Curry. Lost a handle. Popped free, but Hastings, who's played well in the last 5 or 6 minutes, keeps it for Redlands. Back out to Boston, drives in, got too deep at the bottom of the rim. Rebound pulled down by Gates. His putback right side, no good. Boston, another offensive board. Pioneers need to start boxing out. High drive, Amati. High off the square. Makes it a 5-point lead. Datcher the fourth, right side to Henderson, brings it in. He missed the shot. Datcher the fourth, tried the tip in, doesn't go. And now the Pios are down 2. It's a 5-on-3 break for Redlands. Toss back, Curry. Back over to Amati, your left to right. Bobbled it, and it's stolen by Waisugi. Lewis and Clark catches a break. Up to Datcher the fourth. Missed the lay-in off balance. The Pios are trying to run right now and not getting buckets. Boston coast to coast. Kick out near side 3 is good. Found Amati, and Redlands leads by 8. Timeout, Lewis and Clark. .5:32 left, second half. Redlands 59, Lewis and Clark 51.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
They were only up 7-4 at halftime. That's moved to 19-4, so plus 12 second half points off takeaways for the Bulldogs. 5.5 to play out of the Pios timeout. Lewis and Clark has the ball. Trunkett and Jackson in backcourt bring it across. Middle of the floor, Jackson. Toss back to Trunkett. Henderson far corner, near side wing, Rodriguez. Head fake, got Gordon to jump. Kicks over to Datcher the fourth, outside to Trunkett for 3. Lefty skips off, no good. Weak side rebound by Curry. Pios in white, gray unis for Redlands. Gates, Curry, Boston, Amati, and Gordon. Gordon high screen used by Gates to the left. Datcher the fourth catches up. Back outside to Amati. Stops left block. Back out top with 8 to shoot between the circles, Curry. One pass, Amati. Takes off left, step back 3 with 1 to shoot. Missed it. Weak side rebound hugged by Henderson. Out to Datcher the fourth. Open floor. Griffin puts it down. Lewis and Clark within 6, 59-53. 4.5 to play. Datcher the fourth. Starter today, 9 points. Second only to Medlock Jr.'s 13. Amati and Ferguson 11 apiece for Redlands. Curry, left side, works on Jackson, leans in, a nice bank shot. Strong positioning, Jackson was there. Didn't matter, 61-53. Largest lead of the game for Redlands. Pios have had a 10-point lead a couple of times. 3:57 to play in the second half. Rodriguez spins at the free throw line, up and under, left hand, right side. Tight defense from Boston. Freshman Jake Rodriguez. Keen time to get his first field goal of the game. Boston trying to answer, kicks right. Amadi might have fire right now. Skip that one. Too strong left side. Pioneers get the rebound. Datch of the fourth ahead to Rodriguez. Guarded by Gordon. Rodriguez 5'10". Gordon 6'8". Henderson spins, baseline, strides through. Layup no good. Weak side, tipped away. And the officials point Redlands basketball. Boston was on that far side, and there's a timeout on the floor. Redlands has it when we return for the final 3:13 in the second half. Redlands trying to get to 4-1. Pios trying to get to 4-2, and it's 61-55. A lead of 6 for Redlands when we come back on Pio Stream.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12-ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12-ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
$155. Lewis and Clark trails Redlands with 3:13 to play in the second half. In the second half, 12 points off turnovers and 4 off second chance opportunities for Redlands, as they swung an 8-point halftime deficit to a lead of as many as 8 in this period. 11 points, 7 in the second half from Ferguson. 11 total, 6 in the second half for Amadi. Pioneers have Datcher the fourth, Henderson, Rodriguez, Jackson, and Trunkett. Pios in white, gray unis with Curry, Amadi, Boston, Gordon, and Biliviak, the fifth on the floor for Redlands, driving left. Curry has his shot bounce off both sides of the rim, miss, but he tips it in on the left side to make it an 8-point lead again. Pios down 8, 63-55. 2:46 remaining in the second half. Rodriguez, hesitation, drives in all the way from half court, scores it and fouled. Battling, Amadi was there to commit the foul, his first, team fifth. And Rodriguez a chance at a 3-point play. Dupre replaces Trunkett. First game for Ryan since the opening 3 games of the season. Missed 9 games last year because of injury. Trunkett 0 for 2 from the floor, had a steal and a rebound. Lefty, free throw, Rodriguez makes it 63-58, 5-point lead for Redlands. 2:37 to go in the second. Arrow favors Lewis and Clark. Pios have a single full timeout, a 60 and a 30 for Redlands. .13 to shoot. Curry off a screen from Gordon. Skips it left. Mahdi for 3. Got it. 3 3-pointers for Amadi, and now a steal on the inbound. Curry took it away on the throw-in. And Curry's pumped. Lets out a fist pump and a roar. 3 threes from Amadi, 2 in the second half. 66-58. Curry with 12 on the play clock. Out to the left side. Pull up, long 2. Amadi front rim, no good. Fight for the rebound. Boston has it at the free throw line. Another offensive board for Redlands. Minute 38 remaining in the game, up 8. 13 offensive rebounds this afternoon for the Bulldogs. Pass stolen away. Dupre got in it. Up to Jackson. Popped loose just past half court. Gets it back. Bounce pass right to Henderson. Far side now, dash of the fourth from Rodriguez. Dribbles to the baseline. Reverses back to free throw. No look! Right side and ditched it to Jackson for the lay-in. Good. 66-60. 6-point lead. Minute 8 remaining. Lewis and Clark desperately needs a stop. Redlands used a decent run. 14-5 run midway, well, to about the 12-minute mark of this half to make a big difference, and Redlands takes a timeout with 9 seconds left on the shot clock. 52 seconds left in the game. That allows Medlock Jr. to get into the game for the Pios. Those were some big moments with that run by Redlands, and then Lewis and Clark had a 15-2 run with 7 minutes to go in the first half, down to the 3.5 mark. Lewis and Clark led 30-22 at halftime. Right now trails Redlands 66-60 with 52 seconds left. Both teams have a 60-second timeout remaining. Inbound from the far side for the Bulldogs, and 9 to shoot. Lewis and Clark, 9 team fouls, so double bonus the rest of the way for Redlands. 1 to give, if you will, for Redlands at 5 team fouls before the 1-and-1 bonus. Oliviak to inbound far side. Curry right in front in the corners. Boston and Amati. Gordon at the high post. That's a high screen. Used. Curry throws right. Amati raised up to the toes. Dribble. Took off. Over Dupre. Missed it. Rebound off of Datcher the fourth and out of bounds. 20 seconds on the refresh shot clock. That was correct. And 41 seconds to inbound. Oliviak, left side of the hoop. 41 to play in the game. Redlands with the ball. Another offensive second chance, up 6. Lewis and Clark can get a stop. Pios are going to try to get a foul. And almost popped free from Amati. 10th foul charged to Lewis and Clark. That one's on Rodriguez. He has 4. 33 seconds remaining. Bulldogs at the line, 11 of 14. $66-60. Free throw Amati. Good. So it's a 3-possession game with 33 seconds left. Weisugi comes in, placing Dupre. Redlands will be against Caltech on Wednesday. Lewis and Clark is at Willamette on Friday. Mahdi free throw. Good. 68-60. Lewis and Clark down 8. Final 33 seconds of regulation. Weisugi ahead. Henderson near corner. Works to the elbow. Far side. Catch and shoot. Rodriguez for 3. Got it! 24 seconds left. Pios down 5. Foul in backcourt with a couple seconds off. That one's charged to Mikey Medlock Jr. His first personal. So the only foul trouble for the Pios is Rodriguez with 4. No one has more than 2. Boston has 3 for Redlands. No one else with more than 2. Free throw. Opportunity for Curry is 4 of 5 from the stripe. That one is good. 69-63. Redlands up by 6. Second one, no good, front rim. And Medlock Jr. has it, but was stripped by Boston. Boston on the help took it away. And the Pios have Medlock Jr. get one more foul with 15 seconds remaining. Got to be frustrating only because you have a Bulldogs team that puts up 98.5 per game, and you hold the Bulldogs to just 69, maybe 70, 71. Kind of doesn't matter. You look at the other Northwest Conference teams that Redlands has played, scored 105 against Fox, 90 against Linfield, and 83 in a loss to Pacific. The Pioneers Yeah, Redlands at this 37% shooting, granted 48% in the second half. Both free throws good, 71-63. Lewis and Clark, front court. Weisugi, what a hesitation. Kicked it out to Rodriguez, 3. That one's good too. Jake gets a couple in a row. And Piles will have a little bit of time down, 71-66. Again, Redlands forced about 26 turnovers per game. Piles gave it up just 15 times. And while that's double than their season average, when you're one of the best turnover-causing teams in the nation, you have to be pretty happy with that. Pios foul right on the inbound with 3 seconds left. Weisugi's third. Lewis and Clark tips off 6 o'clock at Willamette on Friday. Women's game to follow at 8 o'clock. Reminder, we'll have Lewis and Clark audio from Salem tomorrow. Pioneers taking on Corbin at 2 o'clock on about 1 o'clock. Free throw is in. I mean, I was looking at those shooting percentages. The Pios even shot 50% in the second half. 47% for the game. That one's no good. Rebound, Datch of the fourth. Heave from three-quarter court at the buzzer. Missed it. And it's over, 72-66. Lewis and Clark falls in this game. We'll ask Bethany as soon as our broadcast wraps up. You'll hit that live button and end the broadcast, but not until we say goodbye to those who are watching us